Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I am Sybil Wilkes, and it is the Monday before Christmas. It's the first day of winter. It is Monday, so that means today is our day for our social justice activist, the youngin of the group. Hello, Coy Malone. How you doing?
Hey, Sybil, I'm doing great. Hey, George, how are you today?
And you're also the best looking one in the group today. You look so good. I don't know whether it's your screen, whether it's your camera. Is it just you?
It's
I hope
her.
it's just me.
You
It is
look
her.
so good. What are you, 19, 20? You're getting younger.
Thank
And,
you.
and
Well,
she just had her 19th birthday last week.
I did last Monday.
Wait a minute, y'all stop fooling with me. Are you only 19?
Yes.
No. Yes, I am.
Yes, Coy,
You got
you
your booty
are.
down to the pole? No. Well, hello,
It
everybody.
always comes back to that, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Hello, George Wallace.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. It's a beautiful Monday. I'm here in Atlanta, and it's a beautiful day. Like you say, today is winter. The
First day of
first day of
winter.
winter. And
Mhm.
somebody told me, I don't know whether this is true or not. They said the days are supposed to get shorter now.
Now
Why?
leading up to it. Now we are at this is the not shorter days, but the smaller amount of light. So of daylight. And so now that we this is the day with the shortest amount of daylight. And so from
Okay.
now on, as we go forward, it will be we'll have more seconds and minutes of daylight.
Yeah, and it's also very unique today because
Are
not only
you a
is it
superpower
called
girl?
the oh yeah, I am. I'm one of them, but I'm not really totally into that because what it is Jupiter and Saturn are in alignment today. It's the first time it's happened in like 700, 800 years.
Every
Gazillion
So,
year we
years.
you
have one of
know,
those bullshit things every year. This
yeah,
happened
we
happened
have it every
100 years.
No,
year. It's,
there's
you
always
know,
something, George.
it's something. And people think that, spiritually you can gain a lot of different, powers and stuff like that today, which is true. You can gain spiritual powers, but it takes time. I wouldn't
Well,
invite people to go outside and try to, do
no,
moon
no,
dances and
I
stuff
I
like
love that. I
that.
love that.
I
I
wouldn't do
used to
it.
drive to work in the dark, and I would see stars, and at
Hmm.
one point George, Jay and Tom were teasing me because I saw a star in the east. And it was like Jupiter. So now this is the Christmas star, and
Yeah.
this is Jupiter
Okay.
and Saturn come closer than they have in centuries. The two largest planets in our solar system are coming closer together than they have since the Middle Ages.
Well, let
I
me
was
Yeah.
ask
going to
you
send
this.
this
Well, who would
it's
know
the
that it
planets.
was 800 years ago? Who around here, where did they get that history from? How would they know that? Astrologists just figured out with a number?
I'm going to
I'm,
say Egyptians.
I'll
Okay.
go with that, especially since they say
I'll go
this
with that.
hasn't happened since the Middle Ages.
Hmm.
And it's the two planets making a bright splash in the night sky. And so this night they will appear so closely aligned, they'll look like a double planet, which is pretty cool. And the close approach is called a conjunction. Conjunction, conjunction. What's
Conjunction.
your function? And that means that, it's happening. That this event is happening on the day of the winter solstice,
Yes,
and
sir.
so they say that alignment are rare, occurring once every 20 years or so. But this conjunction is exceptionally rare because of how close they will appear to be to one another, which
Ooh.
is
And in the morning, you're going to wake up with x-ray eyes.
And so, if you're going to go out there tonight, they say that you can go out and currently visible in our night sky,
Really?
and yeah, yeah. So, hopefully we'll talk about that a little bit more. Maybe if somebody is already out there and seeing this, let us go to and let folks know why we are here or how we are here. The What You Need to Know newsletter. I think I just moved my
Mhm.
laptop there a second. Sorry. What You Need to Know newsletter is brought to you by Black Voters Matter and the Black Voters Matter Fund.org. Let's get some information from them, shall we? Okay, we'll hold off on that video. We want to thank those folks who are out there and they're really doing the darn thing.
Yes.
And so let's check out. Okay, all right. So we're juggling a couple of different things. I'm really envious of a lot of people who are out there on the road this week. I had the opportunity to go out last week,
Uh-huh.
and this is a wonderful opportunity for folks to be involved in this very important election of the two Senate races, as we talk about just about every day in the What You Need to Know newsletter,
Mhm.
and bringing folks up to date. Um, you guys set records last week, Coy.
Records were set. At this point, the last numbers that I've checked is now more than 1.3 million
Yeah,
voters have casted their votes in
in
Georgia,
one
whether in
week.
person or yeah. And that's amazing to see. The citizens of Georgia are truly surprising me with getting out and voting this year. It has
Mhm.
been something amazing to see. It is amazing to see also who Georgians are voting for because traditionally, for a long time, Georgia
Mhm.
has always voted straight Republican. It's just
Hmm.
never been a question. You might have some pockets in Atlanta, in certain metro Atlanta counties, and maybe a few outside counties. But this year, people are showing up, and it is making other person's butt hurt.
Yeah. This
Well,
is
I think what's happening
Coy.
with Georgia is that a lot of people are moving here, and not just Atlanta. A lot of
Right.
Democrats, a lot of blacks are going. It's not like you're going. A lot of people going to Savannah and just little like Bibb County, where white people used to live. We're kind of like branching out, like Atlanta. We
Right.
spread, and now black people are everywhere. There's not just only black people. You know, the companies are here. The young,
Yeah.
educated whites are moving here, and Atlanta's always been a progressive city, and that's why Georgia is changing. The whole state is changing, and
The
it's going to
landscape
continue.
of it is completely and certainly, as people have noted for the very first time, and as you have said, Coy, and I think Coy, it's safe to say since before you were born, a Democrat at the top of the ticket has taken Georgia, and that wasn't since that hasn't been since Bill Clinton, and so
Mhm.
Yeah.
now we're in this runoff. And as you have noted, George, a lot of young progressives have made their way to Florida, to
To
Georgia,
Georgia.
and as a result, they are showing their strength in numbers. And as they said, I was in a play once called Auntie Mame. And played this character who was an old Southern woman. Is like the winds of change, Mother Jefferson Davis. The winds of change, and so it really is truly that. And you guys are, I believe, are going to reap the benefits of this progressive movement, as well as the early numbers over almost 1.3 million people.
Right.
Or I was going to say almost 1.5 million at 1.3. This is really great. And early in-person voting continues until New Year's Eve, December 31st, right?
Right.
And
Yeah,
then
I'm kind of excited about that. I kind of am thinking about maybe I should take a celebratory toast and then go vote on New Year's Eve. I think that would be a fun way to celebrate.
be careful with that. As they say, they'll look for any excuse not to let
Yeah.
you vote.
Oh
So,
yeah,
He
that's
got pulled
true.
over DUI driving on New Year's Eve. Didn't even make it to 2021.
Didn't
He was
right,
even make
drunk.
it.
right.
Just
Calling
in
me to come down there and
pre-trial.
take her, want me to come down there and get her out of jail. Not today. No, you stay in jail. You know you shouldn't be drinking and driving. Just keep your ass in jail. You'll never forget this. It says, do not drink and drive ever,
Well,
okay?
then I'll do
Well,
sparkling apple cider. There we go.
okay, okay. I
Remember
don't
when
know
that
if I
first
have
came
any
out? The
vegan
spark.
liquors for
Go
you,
ahead,
Coy,
sis.
but whatever. If you take that or Uber to your voting place,
Uber,
Definitely.
yeah.
or Lyft, yeah. So I'm really excited for you guys. I really am. So excited. I really want to come back. I want to do like, New Year's Day to voting day, the 5th of January, to come out there and to be a part of it because that is, it's just an exciting time. Now, the vice president elect was supposed to show up today.
Right.
Did she? I know
No,
she had some
she
business in
canceled.
Washington D.C.
She canceled.
Mm-mm.
Something happened.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, no, they were voting on
voting. Yeah.
the coronavirus stimulus package. They finally got that done last night, and so
They
they
need to vote more on that.
well, but here's the thing, Coy. Um, a lot of the leading Democrats are saying that this is a good band-aid or a bridge to
Hmm.
next year, to hopefully get people some assistance right now. Like those stimulus checks are going to go out. Uh, let's see, maybe as early
Maybe
as two
tomorrow.
weeks from today. They say right after Christmas. They're
Is that right?
that the checks will go out like the 27th or 28th of December. So that's a good bridge. It's not enough. We're all in agreement with that. But this is where you guys come into play.
Right.
Because if you put those two Democrats in the United States
Hmm.
Senate, then you will have a greater opportunity to benefit the rest of the country as well as yourselves in getting more benefits from the United States government with that 50-50 split in the
Hmm.
United States Senate. The vice president elect comes in, or by then will be the vice president, and she will break the tie, and you will see a lot more coming down the pike. So that's once again the important play that you all have in all of this.
Give us some motivation because we need more than $600.
Well, I was
Yeah,
told today. Go ahead.
no,
I was
you.
told today about the voting and
Mhm.
get these two senators in. I was told today we're kind of worried in Georgia about the 18-year-old up right in that young market. We're kind of worried about them. It's been a little slower trend with the 18-year-old. So
Right.
if you know any 18-year-old, 20-year-old kids out there never voted before, get out there because you are the key. We're talking about your life mostly.
Do
We've
you guys
lived.
have any of the figures on the 18, those who will be 18 by January 5th, who have turned 18 since the November 3rd election into January 5th? Do you know anything about the registration records and the numbers on those who did register to vote?
I haven't checked into those numbers as of yet. That is something I would definitely like to see
Mhm.
and kind of, compare to how has marketing in terms of getting people out to vote, how has that affected that group? Now, there has been a ton of marketing across the
Mhm.
metro area, across the state with voting, whether
Mhm.
I've seen it for Democrats, Republicans, or nonpartisan. I've seen a lot of voting ads on mobile trucks. I took a picture of one that was electronic that was at a mall over the weekend. I've seen quite a
You were at
number
a
of
mall over the
billboards.
weekend, Tori?
Yeah, I stopped by really quick. I wanted to get my mom a gift, and I don't want to tell because she might be tuning
Oh,
in. But I did stop by shortly to grab her a gift and leave. I had to support Black businesses too. I love supporting Black
there you
businesses,
go.
so I go
Okay.
out of
All
my
right.
way to
You're
do
not
that.
afraid to go out. You look like you're going to a party now.
Oh yeah.
What are you
I'm,
laughing?
I'm,
Are you going to a party
George,
now?
I am.
George.
I'm going to
No,
a
you're not. No, you're not
surprise.
going. You're going to a party now.
Not right now,
I
but
mean tonight.
after. Yeah, I am. I am.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
I know it's a socially distanced, very limited
How the hell can you be social
surprise.
distance at a party? Are you going to be in the same apartment?
No, we're gonna be in a skating rink, so it's gonna be wide open. They limited the guest number too, so
So
I
you're going to have
happen
to eat
Let
to.
me
your
ask
cake.
you
You're
this:
going to your birthday party.
how old are the group of people? What's the age range? And not
I
for the
believe
person, because I know it's a surprise, but not for the person who is celebrating. But
I would say between 28 and 40.
they're old enough to know better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We are doing better though. I will tell you, I've taken like 6 COVID tests so far, and all of them have
Mhm.
been negative. I've been, limiting my time being out in public. When I am in public, I am masked and socially distanced. Even though it's kind of hard to believe with me and my skating that I love to do. Believe it or not, I skate by myself and socially distanced. I found myself going a lot later and later when there's a lot less people within the rink. And so
A big
far,
time. But here's my point.
yeah.
And I had this discussion with somebody this weekend about someone having a birthday party, and it
Mhm.
too was a surprise. And it was in a restaurant. And my thing is, I know life is short. God knows I realize this every day. And have recognized that. But can we wait for the
Ooh,
next birthday or 6 months from now after everybody has been vaccinated or something? Can we just not wait to have this birthday celebration? Is that too
yeah.
Yeah.
much to ask?
And I
It's
mean, some people can wait. I did. I, planned on having a skating party myself and planned on, possibly going to a restaurant. And I ended up having just a party with me and one other person. That's all that was there. So, some of these things can wait. Some people want to celebrate and want to do so, socially distance and follow CDC guidelines to minimize their risk and their exposure. So for those people, power to them. Power to me too, because I'm going to go tonight. But I'm definitely going to be socially distanced. I'm going to have all my elderberry lined up, all kinds of things.
Well,
not only
the parties, how about Christmas? I'm telling my family, you stay home and we'll Zoom each other and we'll celebrate Christmas in July. How about that's what I want to do. I'm going to take the vaccine and I'm going to wait until July to celebrate. A lot of people are traveling.
You're going to have to wait a long time for that vaccine, because I don't think folks your age are going to get the vaccine. They're saying the young folks aren't going to get the vaccine till way down the line. You and Coy.
Thank you, Kizzy. Are you talking about her? Coy? I thought you were talking to me.
I was. I'm saying you and Coy will be laid on, way down the line.
Thank you so much, Sybil. But I'm going to be, my age group is up there. I'm like number 1 or 2. Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas, George.
So the vaccine is designated by age group now.
I think there's like 3 or 4 groups, right, Sybil?
Yeah. But you know what? Yeah, the elderly and frontline workers are, especially the emergency workers, are the medical officials are first in line, as you've seen them, as it has been demonstrated. But you know what? A lot of the government officials who have taken the vaccine are catching hell.
We're jumping in line.
Amongst them is Ocasio-Cortez, the young gun in the United States House, as well as what's the senator from Florida, is also catching hell because they have jumped ahead. Now the president-elect did take his shot today, and I understand, you're doing that to raise the morale and to get people involved in the process. But Ocasio-Cortez, Alexandria is really catching it. I mean, people have been going in on her on Twitter. What do you think?
A lot of people are, and I'm not sure if this is the same person that I read about. That was a senator that, urged. One of the stories I just saw was a senator that was urging people to, socially distance and stuff like that.
Right.
And then she was found to have gone home and spent time with her entire family in a vacation home. So it's a lot of things that are going on that people are saying to do, but they're not following it. Like I said, I personally am not opting to take the vaccine, but I encourage those who feel that is necessary for them. And if you're a frontline worker, to strongly, do so if you feel like this is what will prepare you. I did see, conspiracy theory, another video about people that have been taking the COVID test and how like the swabs are taken to get a sample. It was a medical personnel that was saying basically that COVID is present within saliva and that test can simply be done by swabbing your cheek. So there's a conspiracy theory saying that the swabs are containing a part of the vaccine and that we're actually getting vaccinated. So who knows? I might already be vaccinated.
What?
Are you serious?
What did you just say? Really?
Yes.
I can't.
Now I'm scared. If you go take the test, you could be being vaccinated at the time.
Yes, because there's a palate that it's a small.
I'm not mad. Then
your sinuses that can absorb.
I've had 2 COVID tests recently. If the vaccine was in there, okay, let's go.
I've had 6. I have had 6. I've had 6 at this point, and they've all been negative. So
right. So you probably would you be so mad if the vaccine was in it?
Yes, I would be, because I didn't consent to this.
Okay.
Yes. I didn't consent to this. Mm-hmm.
You didn't consent. Okay, there's so many things that we don't consent to. It was Marco Rubio and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez who took it. But to your point, Coy, other high-ranking politicians have done the same thing. Like Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, had him open up a beauty salon so she could get her hair done, and was not seen wearing a mask. Right. This was a little while ago in San Francisco. The governor of California going to a birthday party, or a governor of another state, going to Florida with his family. So all of these things are, they're telling people what to do, but they're not being very proactive in following their own advice.
Yep. And
Oh,
have
Dr.
you
Burks was
Dr.
one.
Burke,
Yeah,
yeah.
Dr.
okay.
Dr. Deborah Burks,
Mhm.
who was on that White House commission, the one who was sadly overshadowed by Dr. Fauci. But yeah, she was one who did tell people about social distancing and all the important things to do, and then went to spend time with her family. Yeah,
Yes. Have you all
in
heard
in
about
Delaware or something like that. Yeah.
Uncle Luke?
What
He was in the
happened?
news this
No,
weekend
what?
as well. Uncle Luke contracted COVID-19. And he said he did
Oh, I did
so
hear that. Yeah.
because he was pressured into going out to a party at a strip club. And he feels that he contracted COVID-19 while being at the strip club, at the party. People wanted to come up and take pictures with him.
Mhm.
He feels
Mm-mm.
that a lot of the entertainers are asymptomatic and they're just walking around spreading the virus. And he's now COVID-19 positive because of this. And he said most of the
Can I just
patrons
tell
there
you?
That's
they
another
weren't
reason we should
masked.
stay home, Coy.
Right. And
It's
he said
another reason we should just stay home.
they
Even
weren't masked, they weren't socially distanced, they weren't following any guidelines. And that's what a lot of people that I'm seeing have a tendency to forget, that
Mhm.
COVID-19 is not geographical. It does not stop at the door and say, hey, I'm not going to go in there. There are things that have been set in place by the CDC to help protect us, including social distancing, wearing masks, using hand sanitizer, and not going anywhere if you're sick or if you have symptoms, or even when you're feeling better. That's when you're the most contagious, those first few days when you start to feel better, and people just aren't following those guidelines.
Well, I think you should just stay at home. I apologize. I know you're going to go out to have fun tonight, but I'm just going to tell you, as an older person, I wish you would just stay at home and play some music, Christmas music, whatever, because I know you're going to wear your mask, right, at all times, right?
Yes.
Um, we don't know where it comes from, but we do know if you stay away from crowds and insides in restaurants, your chances are better not contracting it. So I just wish you would stay in. I apologize. That's how I feel about it.
Let me just add one more thing, and not about you, Coy, but about Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell is a friend of ours, and he is a smart man. He's funny. And tomorrow is his birthday, and it's a
Mhm.
significant birthday. And he is old enough not to be kowtowed by peer pressure.
Right.
He knows better than to go out and do this. You cannot blame it on peer pressure. You
Right.
put yourself in that position,
Exactly.
dude. And so I'm sorry that you got the disease, but I don't feel sorry because you know better. You know better, Luke, and for good or bad, you are a role model, and you are one of those people in your community who could have really set a great example. Now you're setting an example, saying, "Do as I said, not as I did," and don't go. So
Right.
I'm just saying. Tomorrow. Oh, okay. So we did not really talk about the stimulus package. We are talking that
Right.
they're supposed to vote on it tonight. They had some technical issues today, which prevented them, but they are supposed to vote on this bridge into tomorrow, and the importance of what is going on in Georgia that will have an effect on the next stimulus package. Definitely. As a part of our week, and I should note, what is George Wallace doing here today? I meant to mention this earlier. What
Oh,
is he doing here today? Christmas Eve is Thursday, and so we will not be on Christmas Eve. And that is George's day, so he has come on so we can have a little Christmas conversation, as well as our week. Our week is not complete without a little George Wallace, and so we are glad that he is able to join Coy and me here today. A part of our week of leading up to Christmas, we get a lot of conversation about how sad some of our stories are, and but they're important but sad.
Right.
And Coy, certainly you as a social activist can understand a lot of these stories that come out as a result of the mistreatment, the murders of Black people
Ooh,
by our system. But this good news story is about the young woman that we've been talking about. And this is, and speaking of COVID, this is Dr. Kizmekia Corbett
uh-huh.
is her
Mhm.
name. And she is one of the leading researchers behind this
Mhm.
Moderna vaccine, which was shipped out and is now doing its best to stop the virus in people today who are able to take the Moderna vaccine today. And she is a young Black woman.
Scientist, yeah.
Yes, she is. She is a key scientist behind the vaccine. She's a senior research fellow
Hmm.
and yes, you can be a female and be a fellow with the National Institutes of Health's Vaccine Research Center, working with Moderna in the developing of this second vaccine that was just approved this weekend by the FDA. She says that she is far from your stereotypical pocket protector researcher. And the 34-year-old woman has talked to audiences from the trap house to the White House
To the White
about
House, yeah.
science.
Hey.
And yay! She said before the nationwide shutdown took place, she told her Twitter followers that she got an emergency weave and had her eyebrows done.
Yeah. Well, it's so good to
So,
see a young person up there working in the NIH. I think that's great. It's really wonderful. And other young Black ladies and everybody can learn from her and get involved. They see they can be in a position like that. So she might be the next Dr. Fauci. Who knows?
yeah,
That would be
absolutely.
dope to see. I would love
Yeah.
to see a Black woman in the medical industry at that level of government position. That would just be amazing and so inspiring to Black women and Black girls across the US. We really need to see more of that.
Yeah,
And with our Vice President elect Kamala Harris, that's just been very, very inspirational. So I'm glad that
Oh,
we
it
do
is.
have Black women
Yes.
in the government that are taking charge. So
yeah.
definitely, yes, give her that job.
Uh,
Yes.
and who knows? In the Harris administration, she may be the U.S. Surgeon General. Uh,
Exactly. Like Jerome, what's his
well,
name?
Adams,
Jerome? Yeah,
but
Adams. Yeah,
she's not a physician. But she
that's right.
definitely is going to play a part. Now, this is the other thing. So she got her emergency weave, she got her brows done, and then they were talking to her about the possibility of her ever winning the Nobel Prize, which, of course, in this line of work,
Wow.
that could happen in medicine, in science, right? And she said if she ever does win a Nobel Prize, she's going to ask young Kizzy and the baby to
Yeah,
perform.
right, right.
How young is she? She's 34 years old. Yeah, yeah. And she's also very good about going out and speaking to young Black students about getting involved in STEM, in the sciences. And so she is one to keep our eyes on, and one also that we should be thanking for her work, as now people are benefiting from her work and getting the vaccine. And she
Right.
understands about our suspicions about the Tuskegee experiment and
Right.
all of the other things. And but she also encourages people to get the vaccine. She understands our trepidations, but she says it is that important. And so we salute Dr. Kizmekia Corbett, or as some people like to call her, Dr. Kizzy.
Dr. Kizzy. Can I ask you a question since you're talking about a lady, Sybil? And I don't know whether this just happened over the weekend. I know it happened 2 years ago. But Miss Anjanette, the lady in Chicago that the police broke in her
Yeah.
house, uh,
Yes.
isn't that amazing? We're just getting the tapes right now, 2 years ago, that they broke in her house.
No, not if it's Chicago. No,
But
I'm very serious, George. This is not, this is not the first time, and it won't be the last time, unfortunately, that this situation has happened in the city of Chicago. It's happened in other cities too, but the pattern is there in Chicago, and that's one thing we
really,
talk about last week
you did talk
in the
about it.
newsletter, Coy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about her situation, and this did not happen during Lori Lightfoot's administration. It happened just before she was
Yes.
elected mayor of Chicago. But it is emblematic of a horrible culture that lives and exists in the city of Chicago.
Yeah.
And the fact that this woman tried to get the tapes for months and months and months, and the law department, the legal counsel for the city of
Yes.
Chicago would not allow the release of these tapes, and so it did not come out until the WBBM, which is Channel 2 CBS in Chicago. They have an investigation unit, which most local
Hmm.
TV stations have, and so they were able to finally get, and she got the tapes, and it was made public last week. This is the first time that the mayor saw this, and she said she didn't know anything
But
about
she
it,
did
and
know.
she had to be reminded. She
Right.
did know, and she did admit that she had to be reminded that she knew about this situation. And now they're moving forward. And I believe I heard today that those police who are were involved in that horrific situation where a bad information and
Yes.
a search warrant and a battering ram made them appear at this woman's door as she was preparing to go to bed, coming home from her social worker job,
Naked.
standing there changing clothes, totally naked. And they rammed into her house and had her handcuffed and naked for the better part of 30 minutes to an
Right.
hour.
And didn't do much
And
to
as
cover
she
her
tried to
It
either.
didn't
tell
do
them,
much.
they were
Right.
in the wrong place.
Well, I don't know what you
I'm sorry.
guys think, but
Like,
I think she should get paid. I think she should get paid big time. She should get paid. You understand what I'm saying? Chicago should know about this. She should get paid. And I'm talking, I don't care if it's 25 million. That was just wrong. That was just
It,
wrong.
yeah,
She
and this
needs
is
to
a
get
growing
every dime she
problem
can get.
in this is a growing problem that has happened in Chicago several times. I have come across
mhm,
a number of stories of just the wrong
yeah,
house being raided, and this has affected children. I also watched a documentary
yeah,
on this with the children showing signs of trauma, of PTSD, because
Sure.
they don't want to go to sleep now, afraid that police are going to bust into their homes in the
because
middle
they've
of the
seen it.
day, in the middle of the
Yeah,
night. Yeah, and this is what's
yeah.
happening to them. There needs to be some type of task force that regulates these types of warrants to verify the information that they're getting from people that provide these tips,
Hmm.
from the
Yeah.
witnesses and what have you, that they ask for this information from, as well as they need some type of follow-up for the people that have been affected by this, especially the
And that's what
children.
she was trying, and that's what she was trying to do, trying to,
Hmm.
follow up, find out what was going on with her
What's
case,
going
and they
on?
would not allow it. And so here's the thing. They were looking for a
Sad.
man who was in the apartment next
Next
door
door. Hmm.
wearing an ankle monitor.
So
They
they
could
knew
have
where he
easily
was.
tracked, right? And this is a growing problem. We're starting to see this. Just I'm not for certain that if it's just because we did mention that this did happen in Chicago. I should say actually, this seems to be a growing trend that is happening in the Midwest. We are seeing this
Oh yeah.
happen with a
Oh yeah.
lot of different cities within the Midwest, and it just goes to show like what is actually going on with police departments and what is it that actually needs to be reformed, that needs to be modified with this, because there are militarized police tactics that were used. Yeah, that was great to recover, military fugitives, but these are US citizens and regular
And
people
and
that
here's the
you're
thing.
you're harming like this.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This happened before Brianna. This
Yeah.
happened before
Yes.
Breonna Taylor. So imagine, and you're talking about post-traumatic stress. Imagine what this woman has been living with for the better part of it'll be 2 years in February. And so imagine what she and Lord knows the children need the help too. But imagine what she and her neighbors have gone through, or her family and friends, as they see these other things happen. I remember a case I believe it was in Atlanta, Georgia, a few years ago. A 94-year-old woman. They went to the wrong home
Exactly.
and they shot her to death.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. This is
But
not,
once again, why is
and
it
with the
always us?
Laquan
Why is it always
McDonald case.
us? It's always us.
Say again,
Why?
George.
It's always us. Systemic brutality is always us. Why don't they bring
We're
in
not.
white people like
George,
this?
you're frozen, and your audio is not good for me.
Okay.
I don't know about you, Coy.
No, I can
Now,
see
now
him.
you move. Okay.
He was
Okay.
dancing.
I'm moving.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but
is
I was
me.
saying, why is it always us? It just seems it's just a pattern. Also, it's called, you were saying.
Well, that's the other thing that they said about this case is that a lot of these rammings and the barging into people's homes, breaking into people's homes under the bogus assumption that they're looking for drugs or whatever, they go in neighborhoods. In this particular neighborhood where Anjanette Young lived, 90% of the residents, 90% of the cases are in neighborhoods like that are black and brown
Hmm.
victims of the Chicago Police Department and the way that they do this. And so, yeah, it's not. And Laquan McDonald, that I was going to talk about, is the young man whose video was not shown for a long period of time, as he was shot 16 times by Chicago police in the back. So
Terrible.
this is a sign of our times. Let's try to go up and do some happy
Lighten
songs
Okay,
and bring it
the
up a little bit because
mood.
it's
our
Christmas.
girl Coy Malone is doing the damn thing and is being recognized by people all over the country, and I dare say soon all over the world.
Oh,
And most recently appeared on the television show hosted by Jamel Hill, and I think we have a little
uh-huh.
bit of that video.
Oh,
Shaking that ass really get people to the polls. Now, we figured we'd ask the best person who could answer this question. She is one of the stars of this very popular
She is
PSA.
the star of
Yes,
the PSA.
poll artist Coy Malone. Coy,
Coy!
thank you for joining us on
Hey.
Won't Stick to Sports. Hey, so what has been the response to this campaign?
Well, we've gotten mixed responses. We got a very great reception with people that appreciated our efforts in making a PSA that addressed people that usually aren't marketed towards when it comes to politics, voting, and being informed about what it is to vote and what happens when you don't vote. So Georgia is really surprising me. The citizens of Georgia are surprising me. They're showing up, they're voting on the issues, they're voting on the senators, and we got booties to the poll. Like there's no way that you can't deny it. Like we were a part of that movement.
well, that was
Thanks
nice.
for thanks. Wasn't that great?
That's
That was
nice.
great.
Congratulations. That's good with two very incredible young women, Carrie Champion and Jamel Hill, and they won't stick to sports on Vice TV. So good for you. Good for you. And
Thank you.
let us go to the story that you have in today's, which is horrific in itself. And the former police.
I think I lost audio.
Yeah, the two of us are still here. I think
We're
she
here.
froze this time. Yeah. So I think we have to carry the show since she's doing her own thing.
Okay.
You share your story.
Yeah, the former police
Coy, if you can
officer.
share your story.
Yes, the former police officer who was intentionally run over with
Yes.
a patrol truck while being pulled over. He had not commit any, moving violations or anything like that. When he was pulled over, he was initially approached just by one police officer who had on the siren lights. Okay, great. His registration was up to date, license, insurance, everything. But when he saw several other police cars surround him, he felt like he was in trouble. Again, I believe this is out in Texas, and he starts to run because he felt like it was fight or flight. He didn't know why all these police officers were surrounding him. Now, mind you, this person is someone who formerly served in law enforcement, who was a detective. His wife is a current police officer. He has a father who was also within the police force, and he has other families in the police force. His name is Lionel Womack. And he's only 35 years old, so he's very young. And I apologize. He's actually in Kansas City when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually still behind bars right now on an outstanding warrant in Oklahoma because there was a city where he was driving through where police believe that he sped through and they weren't able to catch him. So this man is facing a lot of different things within the system right now. The sheriff has been the sheriff deputy that ran him over, whose race was not disclosed. Womack's lawyer actually reached out to the police department and suggested that the sheriff deputy, be fired, be reprimanded, to which the police department basically said no. And the sheriff deputy is still on duty as we speak. But he ran him over. He swerved the truck and ran him over.
This is where we need more justice, and we need more of the C.K. Hofflers of the world and the Ben Crumps of the world. And I know that their plates are full. I know this. But definitely we need more of them to be involved in cases like this, because this just doesn't, it just boggles the mind because it doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
They try to make sense of it.
They freak out. So he did run. So he did flee the scene. Yeah. So, and the police chased him in the car and ran him down.
And then he swerved. The truck was swerved
to hit him
and ran him over. And when he came out from under the truck, they said all you could see was his arms like this, and he rolled out. And he sustained serious injuries to his back, pelvis, thigh, right knee, ankle, and foot.
Yeah,
so
you rolled through all of his injuries.
Rolled through all of.
You might as well just said his entire side of his body.
Once again, why run the guy over? You got his car back there. Once again, same thing in Atlanta. He's coming back to get his car tomorrow. Why you got to run him over?
Or shoot him.
Shoot him.
As he's being.
What's so important about killing the guy just because he ran?
Yeah,
exactly. The same thing, that people brought up with the unfortunate case of Rayshard Brooks here in Atlanta. Yes, we understand. Yeah, we understand. Yeah, we get fight or flight because of threats that have happened to us as Black people involving police over numerous years, and then us being policed after we were freed as slaves. We were policed, and then we were policed as slaves. You think I'm going to sit here and just say, oh, calm down. Oh, sure, officer. Yeah. No, I might take off and run. But the thing is, you can find these people and you can detain them later with other tactics. It does not have to be lethal, deadly, or involve serious injuries.
Yeah. Coy, really appreciate your staying on top of these, and I know that it can't be easy because every day there's a story that needs to be told, and we don't get to all the stories.
We don't,
and so, but I really appreciate your doggedness and your approach to this, and wanting to tell the story and to keep our viewers and our readers appraised of what's going on. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for all the good you're doing and helping us to spread that word. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
As we head out, I want you to be careful tonight.
Yes.
Please be careful, Coy. But we are going to leave on a happy note. And this next one is a little video ditty from our own George Wallace.
Oh, me?
Yes.
What'd you do? I've never had a Christmas like this one, and it's all because of you. I've never had a Christmas like this one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've never had a Christmas like this one, and it's all because of you. I've never had a Christmas like this one. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, George Wallace. How cute are you?
Oh, my. Just a song I wrote in Vegas a few years back. I thought I wanted to put an orchestra to it, and then it goes into, I've never had a Christmas like this one, and it's all because of you. I've never had a Christmas, just like a Broadway show. You know, the Broadway sound?
Oh, yes, I do.
I want to do. I still might do that, put an orchestra to it. And just
I think you will. I have no doubt about that.
Like, what do you call the dance when you put your clap and you go all over the floor? Yes, I've never had a Christmas like that.
I think George is going for it.
George is.
All the boys, all the gifts, all the toys.
We don't have the Tonys this year, but you're really aiming for one. I see.
And then if I had real music, I could be really in tune. I have a piano over there.
And there's and you probably also have auto tune.
I play the piano, okay? Well, I turn it on.
You can turn it on. Okay.
Turn it on. It will play like hell, yes.
You guys, I really appreciate your coming on today. Coy, wish you a very Merry Christmas, and George, thank you for all that you have done with us and for us this year. Really appreciate you,
Thank
and
you.
hopefully we'll see you guys next Monday. And in the meantime, we will continue our shows tomorrow and as well as Wednesday. Wednesday, of course, Myra J. and Stephen Hill will
Yeah.
be here, our wonderful co-hosts there. And tomorrow we have a surprise. Uh, and keeping fingers crossed, we have it. Okay,
We have a
let's try to
surprise.
play. Let's this video.
Has anybody ever come up with the explanation why it's ho, ho, ho? 3 hoes? 2 hoes would not be sufficient? Merry Christmas, ho, and just do 1? Merry Christmas, ho. Merry Christmas, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho. 3 hoes. Anyway, I'll be on the Sybil Wilkes show tomorrow. Merry Christmas, ho.
We had to do it, didn't he? That is wonderful. So we'll all be here watching tomorrow night with my good friend. Well, not my good friend. I don't like him, but
No, he loves you and you love
No.
him. And I hope that in the next year, George, that you guys will take my really desire and wish to put you guys on stage together doing a show. I really,
can't
and
do it,
not a stand-up show. I really want you guys to
just-
be
but
in
you-
a
that would be
theatrical
great, wouldn't it?
production. Yeah.
I see him doing his show, and I'm just going like, now one day I got to walk in there and we got to do it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's
You
really
guys
nice.
have a wonderful holiday, and I will talk to you once again as we leave out. We want to thank the folks from Black Voters Matter and take a look. Oh, geez, George, you're
Bull
absolutely
Tweet
right.
is now in
Bull
hardcover. Bull Tweet. Well, you had me say Bull Tweet. Bull Twit. Okay, make sure you get this book. You can still get it for Christmas. Go online, georgewallace.com, georgewallace.net, whatever. Bull Twit, little online ramblings in my head. And like I said before, Christmas, just, I want to find that guy that kept the lady inside. Baby, it's cold outside, just trying to keep me in. She said no. Baby, it's cold outside. Oh, but this and that. Just trying to want you to stay
Giving
here.
50 million excuses why she should leave.
Okay.
But she didn't leave. She kept singing with him. So, they stopped playing that song on a lot of stations,
Right,
Yeah.
that's true. They did stop.
What's your
playing it a
favorite
lot.
Christmas carol, Sybil?
Oh, George, I have so many. I really do. But anything by Johnny Mathis, because it reminds me of my father's love of Johnny Mathis and his Christmas album.
Silver Bells. Oh my God! Anything he
Busy
sings.
sidewalks. Oh yeah.
I
All that
worked with
stuff.
him on a movie last year at a Christmas show with Morgan Freeman called "Just Getting Started." Matter of fact, it'll be out again. So that's a great song. My favorite Christmas song is "Carol of the Bells."
Oh, nice.
The bells all seem to say "Throw cares away." Ding dong, ding. And I like that last one. Dong. Oh, that's so beautiful. Carl, what's your
And
favorite?
tomorrow we'll get J. Anthony Brown to tell us about his favorite Christmas carol with Miss Dupree. And it's foul.
And he'll tell you about the gift I bought his mama too from the sports store across the street. The big sports store. You know the name of it.
Coy, do you have a favorite Christmas carol?
I have a few. I like Santa Baby, the older version, the newer version.
Eartha Kitt.
Yeah, I love that. I love the 12 Days of Christmas because I like to get loud and annoying as the countdown goes on. And I love golden rings. I love doing that. And what you gonna get her for
Come
Christmas?
on.
What
Come
you
on.
wanna get that girl? I love that song.
Yeah, that's in my book.
Can you see her doing that on skates tonight?
She will be doing that on skates tonight. Yeah. That's that little rhythm thing they have while they're skating. It's so good. I live in New York City. Coy, did you ever go to New York City on a Sunday and skate in Central Park?
I have not yet.
That's something
Well,
you've
let
got to
Uncle
do.
George invite you to New York to do that.
Oh, that'll be fun. I love going to New York. I go all the time. But I haven't been since COVID started and quarantine. I went just before and participated in Fashion Week at the beginning of the year. So that was
we'll celebrate
fun.
in July.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be a great time.
As a matter of fact, they wear crazy outfits. Right. You'll see ladies out there in their Christmas dresses. Every freak in the world, from doctors to lawyers to nobody's out there skating to great music.
And we're going to leave George's girlfriends out of this. So
yes.
You guys have a wonderful evening. Coy, please be careful. George, you remain safe. And call us when you get home, Coy.
I will. I'll definitely call you when I get home.
As soon as you walk, as your parents should say, as soon as you walk in that house, you call me. You hear me? You
right.
call me.
And we're gonna say good night, and thanks to the folks at Black Voters Matter.
Who needs a little love today? Who needs some love sent their way? Who needs love? Who needs love? Who needs a little love today? Who needs some love sent their way? Who needs love? Who needs love?
The best Christmas present ever. Vote, Georgia. Get out there and vote. Thank you, George. Thank you, Coy. I love you both and appreciate you.